Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.05. We actually started breaking out earlier today. We reached $2.21 right before we crashed down. We even wicked down under $2. We went down to like $1.98. But right now it looks like XRP is starting to turn around. But as that dip was happening, I saw so many people saying, I just lost all my money in XRP. It's like you didn't lose anything unless you sold. If you don't sell, you don't lose. And I'm sure a lot of new investors are panicking right now. But anybody that's been in this space for any period of time, this is just another either buy the dip moment or do nothing moment. You just wait it out and wait for the market to correct once again. Because we are going to start breaking out eventually. It's just a matter of time. And look at Bitcoin. Ran all the way up to $88,000 before it came crashing down. And like I said, every time it looks like Bitcoin is about to start to break out, news drops and the price comes back down. Rinse and repeat. And the reason the market's crashing is because of this right here. Take a listen.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that.
And we knew this was coming today. And I thought to myself, maybe the market already priced this in. But apparently, the market did not price it in. Because soon as he started talking, right away, it spiked up and then crashed down. But you know, maybe now going forward, this will turn bullish for crypto. And gold hits $3,200 for the first time in history. Gold keeps telling you that it's the greatest store of value, not Bitcoin. Gold is gold and Bitcoin is Bitcoin. And the two can never play on the same field because gold, in my opinion, will always be the greatest store of value. And believe it or not, XRP held up pretty well in this dip. And we've already been outperforming every other cryptocurrency leading up to this point right now. And once the breakout happens, I'm expecting XRP to continue outperforming every other cryptocurrency out there. I'm telling you, when XRP goes, it is going to be absolutely incredible. And was it all foreseen in the charts? So here's the chart for Bitcoin. This is what people are expecting next. Another run up to around $88,000. Then a major crash down. Is it over for Bitcoin? I'm not ready to say that yet. Honestly, I still think they're going to let Bitcoin have one more massive run up, somewhere around 120K. Now, if Bitcoin was to break down, does XRP break down with Bitcoin, or do we decouple from Bitcoin and head into alt season or a utility run? Because anything can happen from here. I see so many people saying, this is absolutely what's going to happen next. Is the head and shoulders pattern going to play out where we break all the way down under $1? Because I see people saying that also. I think XRP is very strong. The fact that we held around $2, that tells me everything I need to know. I think we're going to break out from here. And are they crashing the market on purpose? Take a listen to Scott Bessent here.
10% of Americans are 40 or 50% of consumption. And that is an unstable equilibrium. The bottom 50% of working Americans have gotten killed. We are trying to address that. We're trying to get rates down. And could we be seeing that this economy that we inherited starting to roll a bit? Sure. And look, there's going to be a natural adjustment as we move away from public spending to private spending. The market and the economy have just become hooked. We've become addicted to this government spending, and there's going to be a detox period.
So are they crashing out the current system and leading us into the new system? Because that's what I see happening right now. Everything is going digital. They're downsizing the government. Remember in videos like 2 years ago, I was telling you how they're going to consolidate the banks right before we go over to a digital dollar. Because it's easier to onboard a handful of banks to digital money than it is to onboard a massive amount of banks. And the same thing could be happening with the government right now. But are they going to crash the current financial system? Everybody expected that for years, especially in the XRP community. They crashed the current system, the new system goes live, and the phoenix rises from the ashes. Maybe we are already on that path. Good news for XRP holders. Ripple locks 700 million XRP in escrow, maintaining supply control. Last month, 700 XRP returned without the usual 1 billion release. So what's going on? They didn't even release the 1 billion XRP this time around. Is demand for XRP changing? And is Ripple selling it on the over the counter, on the private ledger? Because everybody says everything happens on the private ledger. Remember, there's two prices for XRP, the one that we see and the one on the private ledger. But David Schwartz already debunked that. He said if there's two places where there's two different prices for XRP, people will buy here and take it there. And I think what's really going on is the price is the same over there, but they're testing it at much higher prices. I think the banks are trying it out at different price points. And then maybe when all the banks go live, we see the set price for XRP, because that would make sense. Everybody out there knows XRP has to be at a much higher price for it to be utilized to move money all around the world. So maybe they're trying to find the right price point for XRP for it to work flawlessly. RLUSD has instant connections to banks, financial institutions, payment service providers, exchanges, and many more around the world. Jack McDonald says, as promised, RLUSD is now integrated into Ripple payments, our cross-border payment solution with near global coverage through 90+ payout markets and instant connections to banks, financial institutions, and so on. Enterprise utility right out of the box. This is going to get big over time. I mean, it's already big, but this is going to become massive. And I'm going to show you why as we move forward. Kraken begins integrating Ripple RLUSD stablecoin into its platform. Reveals that TradFi is already using it. So if they're already utilizing RLUSD, it's just a matter of time until that usage is reflected in the price of XRP. 50 million RLUSD minted at RLUSD Treasury. The new financial system will run on XRP. Think about it like this. Everybody was so worried about RLUSD from the day that it ever went live. And now you could see where we're going with this. RLUSD is opening up a lot of doors in the government, in the banking system, Financial institutions will utilize it because it's easier to get the door open with a stable coin and then later introduce the secret sauce, which is XRP. RLUSD is great, running over RippleNet technology. It's fast and it's cheap. But when you're utilizing it with XRP, it's even faster and it's even cheaper. That's what makes XRP game-changing. With RLUSD now integrated into Ripple payments, XRP burn rate is set to rise. Every transaction burns 0.00001 XRP. But if RLUSD drives 100 million transactions, that equals 1 XRP burned. Utility increases, supply decreases, and the future looks deflationary. So 100 million transactions seems like a lot, right? But think about what David Schwartz says. There's going to be billions upon billions of micropayments happening on a daily basis. Then you got domestic transactions. You got international transactions. You got tokenized asset transactions happening. This is going to amp up very quick. And as it does, you're going to realize that XRP was always meant to be a 4 to 5 digit asset. It's going to happen so quick as the demand continues to rise. And institutions are going to create even more demand for XRP because all of a sudden you're going to have new transactions, big box store transactions, grocery store transactions. It's going to be everywhere. And even the normies, the people that never invested into crypto, they're going to be utilizing it and not even knowing it. And it's going to be a great time going forward. But right now, you look at XRP, and it seems to be rising up off of the bottom. Same thing with Bitcoin right now, because we're still following Bitcoin still. But are we out of the woods with tariffs, or are we going to see a much deeper plunge? And like I told you, I really don't think the run for Bitcoin is over quite yet. I still think that one last gasp for Bitcoin is going to happen. I see so many people saying this cycle is almost complete for Bitcoin. Get ready to go into alt season. But Ethereum cannot, it seems like it cannot get going this time around. Usually Ethereum is showing a lot more strength than it's showing right now. But think about it, if the XRP ETFs were to get approved and go live, XRP might be the cryptocurrency that leads us into alt season. But I also got to remind you that you don't lose unless you sell. If you're panic selling into dip after dip, you're going to end up selling your entire bag way too early and at a loss. You know, there's people that just got into this space most likely 2-3 weeks ago when XRP was sitting at a much higher price than where it's sitting right now. And I understand that they're probably thinking, what the hell did I just invest in? Why is the price down from where I bought it? Because my friend just got done telling me XRP is going much higher. But this is what you have in crypto. You have red days. You have dips that happen. Real world events have an impact on your investment. But you gotta stay patient because if you do, you will reap the rewards. We are going to see a massive breakout for XRP. Most likely in the coming weeks, it's going to really start to pick up momentum. It could be a real world catalyst. It could be the SEC coming out and saying that the Rippleverse SEC case is now completely done and over with. But you got to make it to that time. You cannot get discouraged now. Stay focused, put your game plan together, and we will get rich together. But until it all happens, stay patient and stay positive as well. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.